Hello everybody and welcome back to Lost Planeswalker. You're here with me, Jesse, the Lost Planeswalker, and I'm doing a super quick video going through all of the commanders for the commander decks for Bloomburrow. We just got them spoiled yesterday as of recording this video, and I just want to walk through them and kind of give some very quick deck building ideas before we see how those decks are going to be laid out and before I do the upgrade guides for them. So starting out, we have Bellow, Bard of the Brambles. This is one red-green ledger creature raccoon bard that says during your turn, each non-equipment artifact and non-aura enchantment you control with mana value 4 or greater is a 4/4 elemental creature in addition to its other types and has indestructible haste, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. A wall of text that basically sums up to play large artifacts and enchantments, create them into indestructible hasty creatures, and draw cards when they connect. This is certainly very cool. There's definitely a lot of ways you could go around building this, whether you want to buff up your board of artifacts and enchantments, whether you want to give them evasion so they can either get through with trample or maybe flying or something. You're going to certainly draw a ton of cards off of this, so maybe playing a ton of ramp to make it so you just play more and more, or what my one friend suggested is play as many mana rocks as possible so you can just play more and more stuff. Even if they're not all above 4 mana, you can just use that mana to then cast even more things. Bellower, Bard of the Brambles, very cool, very much represents make trash, do smash. So the next card we got up is Hazel of the Root Bloom. 2 black and a green legendary creatures, Squirrel Druid with tap, pay 2 life, tap X untapped tokens you control, add X mana in any combination of colors. Then, at the beginning of your end step, create a token that's a copy of target token you control. If the token is a squirrel instead, create 2 tokens that are copies of it instead. This is a very cool way you can just accelerate on mana very quickly by taking advantage of all of your tokens. Now, notably here, I don't think this is as powerful as it possibly could be. There's already a lot of things that just make your tokens tap for mana, so it's not like you're getting some huge advantage by tapping it using this. This also taps. The only advantage I see is that you have this basically enchantment in the command zone on a creature that you're going to be able to do whenever you need it to. I could see you funneling this into some really big green and black spells and kind of running away with the game that way. But it's a very cool squirrel commander. Obviously, you're going to be able to make copies of squirrels. You're playing green, so you can copy tokens as well. Very cool card. You can kind of go pretty crazy here, whether you want to build a big board or just go big creatures. So either way, very cool. Next up is Miss Bumbleflower. This is our Bant commander. This is our group hug commander, and she is a legendary creature, rabbit citizen with vigilance. And whenever you cast a spell, target opponent draws a card. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It gains flying until end of turn. If this is the second time this ability is resolved this turn, you draw 2 cards. Group hug wise, I think that this is super cool. There are so many ways to abuse giving your opponents cards, especially when you can give them more than one very easily just by playing your stuff. And you also get to draw cards if you've activated this twice in a turn. Now, you can do this multiple times, whether you want to play like a instant reaction deck and just draw a bunch of cards on your opponent's turns, buff up your creatures, and then just get ready to swing in. This also gives a very cool ability of buffing up and give flying at instant speed. Normally, you might need a artifact, equipment, or instant to give something that evasion protection from flying, but Miss Bumbleflower can just do that at instant speed, basically, and make attacking very difficult. The fact that there isn't any sorcery restriction here is very powerful, and I think that this is going to be a very, very strong group hug commander that you have to be wary of. And lastly, and maybe the most powerful, we have Zena Valley's Voice for a Jeskai, a blue, red, and a white. This is a legendary creature bird bard with flying. Zena Valley's Voice gets +X/+0, where X is the number of other creatures you control with base power 1, and creature spells you cast have Offspring 2. Offspring 2 is a brand new mechanic from this set. I'm not sure if they're all going to be Offspring 2. Everything I've seen so far, I believe, is 2, but you may pay an additional 2 mana as you cast a creature spell. If you do, when that creature enters, create a 1/1 token copy of it. all of those ETB or death triggers based on, your large creatures that are going to give you some great benefit when they enter or die. For just 2 additional mana, you get that. This kind of reminds me of the Eldrazi commander deck from Modern Horizons 3 we just got. Not exactly. You're just doubling up effects there or creating copies of those creatures, so it's better. But just think about all of the nonsense you can get into. You're playing great creature token colors for copying, creating, doubling. This would be a very cool deck to build an engine around and just be able to pay that 2 additional mana to just kind of pop off and just make insane nonsense. This is one of the decks I think you could build in a number of different ways based around a number of different color combinations inside Jeskai that could really do something cool. So very, very cool commander decks. I hope you guys are excited as I am. If you didn't check out my video talking about the spoilers we got yesterday, don't worry, that's up. And we're going to be having more videos talking about spoilers coming out today as well. So I hope you are as excited as I am for this set. We got a great first day. I hope the next couple days are just as cool and we get some really cool cards to show off. But with that, I would just like to say thank you so much for watching. Comment down below what you think. Which commander do you think is the most powerful? I'd be really interested to see what you think. I think Hazel, unfortunately, is the weakest when you look at the pure ability of these other ones. But on the other end of that spectrum, if you can get a ton of tokens, you can kind of just funnel a ton of mana into one giant spell and end the game that way. So maybe it's the most powerful out of all of them, but I'd just love to see what you guys think. In addition, if you could leave a like, share this video with a friend, and subscribe, that would mean the world to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, today's Scryfall card of the day is Dauntless Cathar. The harder they try to extinguish my faith, the brighter it burns in the darkness. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you later, Planeswalkers.